Watch the ride.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Metalworks. Today I need to get on and finish this clock because if you saw in the last video, we've still got that one to do, but this one is now finished. It's made from an R1 gearbox, carbon fibre face. That'll be available on my Etsy store soon, as will the other one and this one, because hopefully I'll get this done today. I'm not going to go through the whole process of showing you me doing this one because it's going to be exactly the same as what you saw at the end of the last video, so I'm going to sort of skip through and get that done, get this one done, because then I need to move on to making the clock out of this one for the big clock. Because the base is nearly done. I'm still waiting for the nuts and bolts to arrive. Some of the bits have turned up, but not all of them yet. But they should be here by tomorrow at the latest, so hopefully we'll be able to get on. So I'm going to get on and get this one finished, and then we'll move on to this, because this is going to be slightly different, and I've got a few things I'm thinking about with this, but I'll get to that later on. Oh, and I must say at this point, thank you very much to everyone who's leaving likes and comments on the videos. I'm glad you're enjoying them. If you are one of the people who's watching this and you're enjoying this, please remember to leave a like, because my entire subscriber base is, you're a small niche amount of people if you're watching this. And I think this has got a much wider interest, and it's just a shame that I'm having problems getting this other sort of content that I do seen by those relevant people. You can try and help me get more known, share the posts and stuff, maybe even recommend these videos to a friend. I would massively, massively appreciate that. Now let's get on. Right, are you ready for this? Listen for the fit. I'm so happy with that, an absolute perfect fit again. I have to pop this out, clean off the inside, glue it in, the yada yada yada. Right, I've got the glue cleaned out and I've suddenly thought I want to heat tint this a bit more, because I have put a bit of heat tinting on it, but I want to try and do a bit more. I don't know how it's going to turn out, I don't know how it's going to look, but this is the sort of the thing you have to do to experiment. Well, that is ridiculously hot, but unfortunately this just isn't cutting the mustard to get it to the temperature to really tint it. But it will have done something to the colour slightly. It will look cool once it's cooled down and I can clean it up a bit. But god damn, is that hot. Okay, well, while the glue's just setting, I'm going to make the back plate for the big clock. I don't need to centre yet. This is 1mm aluminium sheeting. It's what I will make most of my, if it's a metal looking back to the clock, it's going to be aluminium sheeting. So now I just need to stick this on here, cut it out, and then get on with it. I'm going to do it in this corner because this is the cleanest corner I've got. So I'm just going to stick some masking tape over it. While I'm just sorting this out, I'm going to answer a few more questions from the other day when a video I said, have you got any questions? I've had loads more questions since. James Dorling, did you have any history in creating metalwork, and do you think you will expand into any other metal items? The way that it all sort of started was when I was about 12. I bought this dog made out of nuts and bolts, and I absolutely loved it, and I said to myself, one day I would like to do that. And I'm a very sort of mechanically sort of minded person, so I've always been interested in making things and doing things and fixing things. So the skills of doing a lot of this is something you pick up along the way. And then a couple of years ago, I made a clock out of a sprocket. Then I shared those with people, and they said, these things are amazing, you could sell those. And people were trying to buy the ones I'd already made. And then what happened in the meantime was I was working for a company running social media, and then I got screwed over. And thankfully my subscribers helped me through that time. I'm still indebted to you all. And also to the people who continue sending me a couple of quid here and there each month to help me continue running the channel. It's without you guys I couldn't do this, so it's absolutely amazing. Then I was like, do you know what? The only time I seem to actually get anything done the way I want it to be done and right is when I do it myself. So I was like, what can I do for myself? What business can I do? And I suddenly thought, do you know what? I'm young. I'm in a position that not many people are. I am going to start the metalworks and just see where it goes. 6 months down the line, it's going okay. It's going pretty well. It's been a good start. But I definitely need to get known more outside my subscriber loop. So that's kind of the history of how this all came about. But I'm very happy that it did. And as for expanding into other items, I'm basically just, I go with the flow. I see what I've got and what I feel like making. You know, I started out with basic clocks, then I went into the sort of more elaborate stuff like these, and now the big one, and I've done a sculpture, and I've done other bits and pieces. So yes, it will develop. I don't know what will be next. It will be interesting to find out. Sean Johnson, what else have you made while creating the clocks? If you go to my Instagram or my Facebook for Spicy's Metalworks, you will see all of the things that I've made. I've done sculptures and I've done clocks pretty much. I've done some display items. I've got some other things in mind, more sculptures, but I'll get to that eventually. Let's get on. I need to chop this out and then get shaping it. Can you see on here the inner circle? That inner circle corresponds to that inner circle there. So I just have to get it in the middle by eye. Okay, quite a bit of time has actually passed since I last put the camera on because I was just getting frustrated with this. I was just trying to get it down small enough to fit so it wasn't sticking out over here, but it was within these lines. And also trying to keep it round, but not only round, but round and still, you know, centralised on the point. So what I ended up doing was I punched the centre point, used a compass to draw a couple of lines around the outside to make sure that I was keeping it round, and then just went down those lines until I found the right point. So the next stage with this is marking out the holes, punching and drilling those, and then it'll be the finishing the plate, and then that can go together and the clock will be finished. But I'm also going to have to do a little bit more work to this. I'm trying to decide what I should do about the paint because it is chipped, and I could respray it, I could take the paint off, or I could leave it as it is because it is a used disc, and that's, you know, that's the chips of the use of the disc. And one of the nicest things about the things that I make, I believe, is the fact that they're used things. They've had a story, they've been on journeys, and that's just part of the story. But is it going to take away from the look of the clock? I don't know yet, I'll see. But I'm going to get on with that later because I'm still waiting on bolts for that, so that's not as pressing. This is so close to being finished. I just got to get it done. Obviously, going up incrementally when you're drilling it just makes it a little easier on the drill and on the material, and you just end up with a better hole at the end of the day. If you ever wondered how tough carbon fibre was, just try and drill through it, Jesus. Every now and then you have to clean up the die grinder bits because I use aluminium and it just cakes up. There we go. So now I'm going to use the die grinder to enlarge that hole until it's close to being, you know, close to that, and then I'll use the drum sanding drum to finish it and get it to shape. Oh God, these keychains just get everywhere. You could help me out by buying a keychain. Whoa! Nearly forgot the miles. Once these are properly cleaned up, I'll be taking decent pictures of them, and then they'll be added onto my Spicy110 Metalworks Instagram and Facebook, and they'll also be added onto the store. And if you wish to own this one, or the other one that I've been working on, or the one you saw in the earlier videos, they're all going to be there by the point this video goes up, most likely. I think so. But anyway, I'm super glad that I bought that bit of carbon fibre to do these and do them right, because I wasn't happy with what was going on before. Too much effort had been put in to not make it right. Right, well, as those 3 R1 clocks are done, I'm so satisfied they're done. Oh, by the way, I will sign them with an engraver. You know, I put Spicy110, the year they're made, and the individual serial number of the clock, because every single clock it's been going up since day one. And I think those 3 clocks will be number 35, 36 and 37, something like that, or very close to that. The next thing I'm going to do is mark out the holes and drill the holes for the plate for the big clock. All the hardware, the nuts and bolts that I use to fit everything together, I order in M8, which is 8mm. So I need to drill these out to 8mm, and I've just realised it's missing. This is a lesson, right? Put things back. I know exactly where it is, but I screwed myself over and now I go back inside. Past me, you're... Another tool I know people are going to suggest I need is a drill press. Now I'm going to use is this, which is a countersinking bit for, you know, countersinking screws into wood really, but because aluminium's soft, this is good at deburring the edges and getting those, because you will still get little burrs, there's not a lot you can do about it, but this saves a lot of time. Right, the next stage of this is because I've used the stone grinder to grind this down, you get a little wall build up this side because the material's so soft. So I need to go around with a Dremel and just take that off. Then I'll have to take the tape off, and then we'll move on to brushing the aluminium and getting this clock put together, and hopefully by that point that the screws will have turned up, so we can put the clock together and put the base together, and then work out how we're going to attach the two together. We're going to have to, I don't know yet. I've had a couple of ideas of how to do this, but we'll see. So I'm going to end this one here and we'll pick it back up tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Please do consider sharing the videos with people who might enjoy this, and if you feel like supporting the channel in any of the ways that are available in the description, I'd really appreciate it. It's you, the people who watch this and help support me, who allow me to continue making more videos. So I'll catch you next time. Bye bye!
Where? There! What, behind the rabbit? It is the rabbit. You silly sod! What? You got us all worked up!